while I was working the other day, I was listening to the Harry Potter audiobooks. Now, I've listened to these books probably 30 times each. And while I was listening this month, you know, I was inspired to make my own wand. I haven't made one yet. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be cool. So we all have a type of wood that speaks to us. Every wand is different, even if it's made from the same wood, even if it has the same core, they're all a little different, just like no two phoenixes are the same. Thank you, Ollivander, for that one. So this is the mystery wood that I'm gonna use for the handle, and then this is granadillo, which is gonna be the full length of the wand. We're gonna hollow out a little section in here to hide a spell, and hopefully that spell will work. Alrighty, we're gonna clamp this down. That way, you know, the bench grinder doesn't fly backwards on me or even move, because the blade needs to have constant contact with the rotating grinder so that it gets nice and sharp. So sharper tools are always safer, plus it gives you a much cleaner finish throughout the whole process. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We are now going to pop over to the bandsaw and we are going to cut the corners off of the turning blanks. Getting it pre-rounded helps a lot in just not banging on your tools that much. Here's what it looks like fresh off the bandsaw. So as you can see, there's a pretty dramatic color change. So I'm gonna use my little palm plane and I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and see what it looks like. Cool, so this is what the wood is gonna look like when it's got some finish on it. It's kind of a whitish gray, little hints of brown, but it's got some nice spalting, so it's still gonna be really cool looking. I'm pretty excited. Okay, so now that we have our hex cut out, we're gonna find center so that we can load this puppy onto the lathe. That's gonna give us our rounded shape. This is gonna be the body of the wand. The handle will come later. Basically the way that it works is it just spins the item really, really quickly, and we're gonna use these chisels to kind of round it out, gauge it, get the shape going. So I'm gonna load onto here and I'm gonna line up the center points, and we're gonna ratchet this in. Once that's on there in your proper spot, then you adjust your support. You wanna be just close enough that it blocks the blade from flipping underneath as it spins, because this is gonna spin towards you. I always do a test spin and make sure, you know, that nothing hits your support. And so we're good to go. Pop on my safety glasses so that I don't get a wood chip in my eye. You ready? You're so good, doggy. You're so good. Perfect. All right, we're ready. This is a caliper, and it's just gonna let you kind of determine exact thickness, and then you can use it to repeat later on. I don't want to take off more material in the early stages than I have to, and that will give me a lot more workable room down the line. On most of the projects that I work on, I let the wood kind of tell me where it wants to go, how it wants to move, and that I find makes me more connected to the piece, and I find it to be more authentic to the material that I'm working with. So I don't have a fully fledged plan. Just gonna kind of wing it. I like that these are sharper and not quite like rounded. I like that they've got a little bit of angle, a little bit of edge, and the grain on this is gonna be just incredible. You can see how the darkness is gonna really radiate all through here and then like lighten up randomly. It's just gonna be gorgeous. The guy who taught me how to use this was like, if you're really good, you can get it to just like bead all the way around. I made a ring. I opted to leave little notches throughout the piece because it's just kind of what came to me in the moment and the feeling, but also whenever you're working with wood, whether it's a table or, you know, a wand, you want to have as much material left as you possibly can because wood moves with every season. Even after it's been cut, you have a tendency for the material to warp and bow and twist. So it's not super important with a wand that it be structurally, you know, integral, but it's nice to know that having a little bit more meat on it will allow it to maintain the original shape that you designed. So I decided to take the first notch off here. I really wanted it to have like a little bit more flow. I wanted it to be a little bit narrower, come to a nicer point, but the grain on this is, you know, like I promised, chef's kiss. We're on to sanding now, and you know, when you sand, you get dust. When you get dust, you need a mask, otherwise you get to enjoy the long-term effects of lung cancer. So my N95 is out, and I am protecting my little schnoz. All right guys, we are done sanding and now I am burnishing. So that's basically where you take a handful of the sawdust that just came off of your piece and you just run it slowly across and you let it really polish the living bejesus out of it. It's gonna have a really nice shine when we're done. As you can see by the drastic color change, we added the wax. I make my own wax and I just love it. It smells really good. It's made with carnauba wax, beeswax, pure linseed oil, and tung oil. I spent about a month playing chemist trying to figure out the right ratio. It's completely non-toxic, so I don't have to worry about any of it getting on my skin. And right now I'm really just working it in to the wood. Okay, now I'm just using this cloth to pull the excess wax off and also give it a nice polish. Just having that constant speed and the heat causes the wax to really work and work up a nice sheen. Awesome, so this part's all done. The main body of the wand is finished. I love it, and as promised, the grain is spectacular. So now I'm gonna bump on over to the handle portion. We're gonna get this shaped out. We're gonna get her all done up, and then they are gonna fit together, and I will show you that bit a little bit later. Want to touch base with you guys, show you where we're at with this. So we're adding a little flare through here, give it a little bit of character. The wood is turning out really cool. It's got some nice pink streaks in it, which is shocking. So I can't wait to see what this is going to look like finished. Now we're in the final stretch and I'm gonna drill the hole into the handle for the secret compartment. And the little knob here is matched to the drill bit's thickness, so it should fit nice and snug. Moment of truth. Oh, it's like just shy. Just taking a teeny bit of material off of this little plug so that it can fit in there nice and snug. Alrighty, let's give this a go. we have a fit. So I finished up my first ever wand, and I am so stoked with how this turned out. I mean, honestly, the grain pattern on both of these woods is just ridiculous. The spalting here on the handle ties in beautifully with the grain pattern of the Granadillo. I couldn't be more psyched. It'll probably be more effective once I insert the spell that I wrote up, and when we hide it in the little hidden compartment here, I'm sure it will work with any luck. So check that out. I wish I knew if there was a spell to make someone sit. Lily, come here. Ah, so good. Sit. Boop. You're perfect.